I would like to call the meeting of the Genoa Charter Township Board to order at 6:30 p.m. Please join me for the invocation. Heavenly Father, thank you for the beautiful weekend you gave us to enjoy in celebration of Easter and the hope of the resurrection. Help us continue to honor you as we move forward in new opportunity. Please guide our thoughts and actions and fill us with your peace. We pray for those who are suffering and unable to share in our most recent joy and ask that you forgive any sins they may be cherishing in their heart, that they may find your light. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I felt like you standing here right in front of the flags for everyone to sign.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Roll call, please.
They're saluting me back.
Hovarder.
Yes, here.
Susie.
Here.
Deaton here. Spiher.
Here.
Hunt.
Here.
Reiber.
Here.
Walker.
Okay. And at this point, at 6:31 p.m., I would like to open the call to the public. What I will say is if you're here for the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment, if you could please hold off until the actual hearing begins for that. So with that, if there is anyone else that would like to speak. Okay. Seeing none, we will close the call to the public 30 seconds after we open
Do you
it.
have something that you wanted to? Okay.
With that, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. At this point, I would entertain a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Move approval of the regular agenda as listed.
Second?
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Action item number 3 is a public hearing on the proposed Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project. Part A would be a call just to the property owners. So as of 6:33, I would like to open the call to property owners on Edwin Drive.
We got the notice, this was 5 years ago we did this. If I understand this correctly.
Sir, would you be able to state your name and address, please?
I certainly could, my name is Philip Brown, and I'm here with my wife Diane, we live at 1681 Edwin,
Thank you.
like the third house down the block. We've been there 25 years, never had any problem, the only time we ever came to the township about the road was possibly to have it. Years that I've been there beforehand, we've working the last time this happened, and there's snow plowing up to 5 times a year, so if that's paid for. There's gonna be crushed asphalt. I don't know what they're gonna be out on there, but, I mean, I know what crushed asphalt looks like, it's the blacktop that's been ground up. And if we don't use the plowing, does it get rolled over, or is this just money that we're wasting every year? And if that's the case, I mean, there's assessment, so I guess we're talking. Because, I mean, I saw that the, Big Barney was coming by, and I knew maybe on the street years ago for it, and I hadn't.
Okay.
So the question is, how do I find out the schedule, what the services were, how many times, what's happening, and how many times do they plow the road? I mean, he has to return it there, but if we had 5 years of crushed asphalt. Olson's gonna fund it anyway again, so for all the money.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess my only comment, and I don't have the information in front of me from the previous special assessment roll that was set up for 5 years. We can do some checking for you, but I think the paperwork that you got this time is proposing what's going to happen moving forward, not necessarily what's been done, so.
And I can maybe expand a little bit more onto that. So to answer one of your questions, yes, this includes snow plowing 5 times per year. If you don't use 5 times per year, that money just rolls over so that if the next winter is a bad year and there needs to be an extra plow, it sort of balances out, or at least it has historically over time. The baseline is 5 times a year. And we can pull all the invoices from the last 5 years if you would like to see what's been done, what's been submitted. This is a private road, so there is a member of your neighborhood, a woman who lives on your street, who has sort of taken on the management of this district. So that's really, but any invoice that gets paid by the township, and they have to submit that to us and itemize what's been done and indicate, that it has been done. Okay, that is definitely something. My name's Kelly Van Marter. I'm the township manager. I can get for you if you want to give me a call tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow. I can try to pull that for you, and you can come in and take a look at it. I can tell you what's being proposed in this renewal is crushed asphalt. Those invoices should be able to tell us historically what the product is that they've been putting down. If it's,
Excuse me, you have the same paperwork for the last.
I don't have it with me this evening, but we do have it.
Yes, so, I mean, that's all I want. It's just dirt, and that's why it looks like it's just dirt, but I'm assuming. That's what it would be, because that would be,
There is a possibility that the last contract being 5 years ago, it could be processed road gravel, which is going to tend to look more like dirt. They call it fines to lock it in. It does tend to resemble dirt, but it is what was typically used in Michigan for dirt roads. Crushed asphalt has become a lot more readily available more recently. So I most of us are new, so we weren't here the first time that this was put into place, so I do not know what the specifics of that contract were. But this one does call for crushed asphalt to be used in repairs.
Okay, then I can assume that you can tell me where that change.
The invoices get submitted by your neighbor to the township. She approves the invoices and submits them to us for payment. So if there was a change made, it likely would have been Rochelle.
Yeah, you can tell me if it was Rochelle, because now can talk to Rochelle. She's,
I don't know. Sitting here this evening, I'd have to pull that paperwork and go over it.
well, if you would, I mean, that you're.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to sit down with you and go through everything that's in our file.
That'd be great, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause we've taken care of the road for, like I said, 20 years before Rochelle moved in.
So, this is the first public hearing that we hold for this project. There is a second one, if the board approves it in the next agenda item, that will set the second public hearing for May 5th. So any neighbors that are opposed to this, well, if they're opposed, they should come.
You were the only opposing voice. Last week it was on the agenda to bring it up for today, and there was 3 or 4 neighbors that were in support of this, just so you know.
So it makes it tough for us. to-
Last week was
2
setting
weeks ago,
the
I'm sorry,
hearing
2
for
weeks,
tonight.
last meeting, 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry.
So that, the motion by the board at the last board meeting was to set this public hearing. So you didn't get notice for that, you got notice for tonight.
But there was 3 of my neighbors that came.
Yes.
There were 3 people who spoke in favor of the maintaining the plan as currently done. They expressed that the road was the best that they, have seen it since they've lived there. And I'm just telling you so that, yeah, if there are other people like-minded, or,
We host our previous meetings on our website, so if you want to look back at the video, you should be able to watch the video.
You can look at the minutes too, I think, in the call to the public, the minutes list, who spoke, and they spoke. Actually, we have
The
it.
minutes are right here.
You can also find all this information on an app that we have now called My Genoa. Yeah. And I'll link you to the YouTube that you can watch and the upcoming agendas and such.
I only see 2.
Absolutely. You're on YouTube right now?
Keep it clean, please.
so yeah. The board hopes to act, in the way that the residents, want the project taken care of. It's very hard for us, only hearing from 1 or 2 or 3 people. So, if there are other like-minded people, please give us feedback. That's our best way to know. So, absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Diane Brown. And I'm just curious, who is responsible for calling the shots for when who determines when the road needs to be plowed? Because this past year, it has not been plowed. And I'd like to know who is responsible for calling. Is it our neighbor, or is it the company, or who comes by to determine that?
There is a 3-inch trigger point. Now, I don't know so even though, it's come before the board, this is a private road. So
Right.
your representative is the person who manages it. So I don't know if that person makes the call or if they have set it up
We're gonna have to do some
in a different way.
and
Yeah.
talk with her.
It's my understanding that she places a call to have it plowed. She is aware that the contract has a limit of only 5, so she wanted to have some control over when they came out.
Oh, I'm
to make
sure.
sure that there wasn't cost overruns associated with, maybe like, for example, them coming out in the spring and then having it warm up 2 days later
No,
and having.
I
it melt.
understand all of that. I just wanted to know who is the person responsible, because it has not been discussed with us at all. Yeah, I get that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. At this point, are there any more homeowners from Edwin Drive that would like to speak? Seeing none, I will close the call to homeowners at 6:45 PM. Part B, I will open the call to the general public on the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project. If there's anybody from the general public that would like to make comment? Okay, seeing none, I will go ahead and close the call to the public at 6:46. Action item number 4 is a request for approval of resolution number 3, approving the project cost estimates, special assessment district, and causing the special assessment roll to be prepared for the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project, which would appear on the summer tax 2025. I would entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve resolution number 3, approving the project cost estimates, special assessment district, and causing the special assessment roll to be prepared for the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project for summer tax 2025.
Okay, I have a motion.
Support.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Sure. Walker? Ryber?
Approve.
Hunt?
Yes.
Spiker?
Yes.
Deaton, yes. Susie?
Yes.
Varder? Yes.
Okay. Motion carried. And again, this is just to set the wheels in motion to have a hearing 2 weeks from today, where everybody will again have a chance to speak. Action item number 5 is a request for approval of resolution number 4, acknowledging the filing of the special assessment roll, scheduling the second hearing for May 5th, 2025, and directing the issuance of statutory notices for the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project for summer taxes 2025.
Make a motion to approve resolution item number 3, agenda item number 4, acknowledging the filing of special assessment roll, schedule and second meeting hearing for May 5th, 2025, and directing the issuance of statutory notices for the Edwin Drive Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project, summer tax 2025.
Support.
I have a motion, I have support. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just clarification. It's resolution number 4, agenda item number 5.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, with that correction, we had a motion, we had a second, minor correction, and I will ask the clerk for a roll call, please.
Okay. Hunt?
Yes.
Ryber?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Varder? Yes. Susie?
Yes.
Deaton, yes. Spiker?
Yes. Okay, action item number 6 is a request for approval of a resolution as required by MCL 432102 to recognize Limited Edition Baton Team USA Fundraising Club as a nonprofit organization operating in the township for the purpose of obtaining a charitable gaming license. And I can speak to this a little bit. This is kind of a clerical thing where the state requires us as the local governing body to support this group in their mission to, I believe it's sell raffle tickets. Anything further?
Excuse Excuse me, just a little technical issue.
Yeah, no, that's
We're
okay.
hearing
We
the
had a
folks-
little sound issue,
We're
so.
having a hard time hearing the podium microphone on YouTube, so I just wanted to try to fix that if I could. So yeah, this is sort of a strange nuance in the law that requires for someone to get a charitable gaming license through the state, which again is issued by the state. We have to just, as a check and balance, sort of declare that they are a nonprofit operating in our community. So we're not actually approving the license, we're just recognizing that they are a nonprofit. They have provided information, which was in your packet this evening, indicating their nonprofit status, both by the IRS, and I believe we also have a copy of their articles of incorporation. So step, that they have to check a box in their process to get approval from the state of Michigan.
It was the first time I had seen anything like that, so I clarification today.
We don't do them very often. I think maybe we've done a dozen or so in the last 20 years.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
And obviously, as you saw, the IRS makes the call on whether or not they're a nonprofit, not us, so. At this point, I will entertain a motion. Action item number 6.
Well, I'll move approval of resolution as required by MCL 432102 to recognize Limited Edition Baton Team USA Fundraising Club as a nonprofit organization operating in the township for the purpose of obtaining a charitable gaming license.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion?
Congratulations to the team for making it that far.
So, seeing none, I would say, actually, I will request a roll call from the clerk.
Okey dokey. Susie,
Yes.
Hovarder. Yes. Walker. Reiber,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Spiher,
Yes,
Deaton, yes.
okay.
Good luck.
Motion carries. Thank you. Action
Well, step
item.
one, anyway.
Otherwise, buy a 50-50 ticket.
Action item number 7 is a request for the introduction of proposed ordinance number Z2505 and to set the meeting date for considering the proposed ordinance for adoption before the Township Board on Monday, May 5th, 2025, for the purpose of considering proposed zoning ordinance text amendments to Article 7, entitled Commercial and Service Districts, Article 14, entitled Parking and Loading Unloading Standards, and Article 18, entitled Site Plan Review, as related to drive-through restaurants.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is just an introduction of an ordinance that will be considered, if you approve it, at the next meeting, which would be May 5th. And essentially, kind of the Cliff Notes version of this ordinance amendment is related to drive-through restaurants within our general commercial districts in the community. When our zoning ordinance was originally written, the only drive-through restaurants that really existed were a fast food drive-through that you're used to seeing, your McDonald's, your Taco Bells. The concept of sort of these fast casual drive-throughs, such as like a Qdoba or a Chipotle, has really transpired within the last 10 years. It's becoming more and more frequent. So this proposal is to allow for drive-throughs also in our general commercial district, but it also proposes to put some restrictions behind that to make sure that we're eliminating any potential nuisances, and also to give some flexibility related to the amount of drive-through traffic that it could generate. For example, years ago when the ordinance started to include drive-through coffee shops, it was meant to be sort of your Big B or your smaller coffee shop. I don't think anyone anticipated that a Starbucks, for example, would generate the amount of traffic that it does. So this amendment tries to really base how we review a drive-through restaurant by how much traffic they're expected to generate and put some protections in place for it. This was approved by our Planning Commission, and then the Livingston County Planning Commission also recommended approval, so we're asking for you to please for consideration.
Okay, thank you.
And I think we're seeing other normal restaurants start doing a drive-through. I mean, right there on Grand River, was it New China King or whatever?
Yeah.
It used to be sit down, I guess you still can do, but you're getting a takeout when you sit down in there, but they have a drive-through now. So we're starting to see more of the trend towards drive-through and pickup, even on something that might be traditional sit-down restaurant, so.
I think it's really just a cleanup to kind of help us attract, a few more businesses to our business district and something other than fast food, which has been expressed as a desire by the residents. So with that, I will entertain a motion on action item number 7.
I'll move to introduce proposed ordinance number Z2505 and set the meeting date to consider adoption before the Township Board on Monday, May 5th, 2025, for the purpose of considering the proposed zoning ordinance text amendment to Article 7, Article 14, and Article 18 in regards to drive-through restaurants.
I have a motion, I have support. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Action item number 8 is the consideration of a request to approve a proposal from KP Elite Cleaning for cleaning services at the Township Hall Building, Park Pavilion restrooms, and park grounds, with an initial one-time only deep cleaning cost not to exceed $2,400 and a monthly cost not to exceed $4,250 from General Fund, Building and Grounds, Repairs and Maintenance, Fund Number 101-265-934-060, effective for 1 year, starting on May 1st, 2025. So the clerk and I actually have kind of tackled this. We felt that the township could use a little more cleaning, and we looked into some companies, as you saw in your packet. We invited 4 people to bid, or 6 people, excuse me, and we met with 6. 4 chose to turn in a bid. They were all very qualified. I think we had 4 excellent contractors bid on this work. We were confident in any one of them. We happened to settle on this particular company, a lot having to do with their willingness to clean early in the morning before the office opens, so that, like, if we have a meeting like tonight and somebody was cleaning at night, that would cause a problem for cleaning the boardroom. We also were very impressed with the fact it's a military-owned company and veteran-owned, and they tend to try to hire other veterans, and that was something that we felt was very admirable. So,
And I do want to also add that we will be saving almost $1,000 a month. Project is for $5,200 a month. Initial 6 people coming in to do. But the pavilion could really use some extra deep cleaning, and that's a big, to get those up and running. Looking good.
the previous contract left out a couple of, areas of the building that probably still needed to be cleaned, so this kind of polished that up a little bit, just addressing the overall cleanliness of the building. Taking it to the next level. As it gets older, we got to take care of it. So, yeah.
Well, I know there was a lot of time and effort put into this, so I appreciate it, both of you.
Thank you.
I've not seen the dog maintenance. What is the dog maintenance area up here? What? Well, I mean, describe it to me.
Doggy bags so people can clean up their pet waste.
So it's like a bag dispenser?
Plastic bag.
Okay.
And then there's a trash can that goes with it that you put it in after.
The little landfill-friendly
So the kids don't
bags,
step in
supposedly.
the landmines, I guess you call it.
And then who's cleaning that out? Is that HAPRA?
So, yes, they do it Monday through Friday, and then the cleaning company will do it on Saturday and Sunday. We have to have it cleaned 7 days a week.
Okay.
But it's a savings of $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month, yeah. Nothing to scoff at. And the park, the paths get a lot of use. They do. I've been amazed sitting here as I look out and see people walking past my window. There is a nice amount of traffic on our pathways, which is great to see.
It is.
So they were kind of the middle of the road. There was a more expensive company. There was one that was a little bit more affordable, but these people, we felt comfortable.
I do really think them coming in the morning is a huge benefit too, because it was hard to schedule 2 days a week when this meeting room is booked on Monday and Tuesday nights. So to do a Wednesday, Friday doesn't really make sense, but this way they can spread it out a little more, doing it in the morning. So,
Could, this is a one-year contract, after which what happens? We go out for bid again?
We could go out for bid again, or we could renew if we were satisfied. We don't want to get locked in like our previous contract.
I'm wondering if they would be willing to lock the price in, not the service contract, that's still renewable, but could you lock the price in for more than just 1 year?
Can certainly talk to them,
We can, talk to them.
although they may want term. If they're gonna lock in on their end, they're gonna want us to lock in on our end as well.
True.
This kind of just, you know,
and with them being new, I would hate to.
yeah, we're dipping our toes in the water. I mean, we don't hire people on a regular basis to professionally clean for us, but we're confident
Don't
we've
ask,
made a
you're
good
never gonna
choice.
get, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we will discuss, they will come in, you know, should they be approved, they will come in at the next administration meeting, and the contract will be finalized then.
I remember reading these, and one of them was gonna supply the products. Was this the one that we purchased the products they
Yes,
used to clean?
but we have a ton of products already in the basement.
And we do that because we purchase tax-free as a government entity. So it is in our best interest. We save a little bit of tax money by doing it that way. They will pick the cleaning company that's chosen will pick the products. We're not gonna pick the products for them or anything like that. We purchase them to take advantage.
We have first, though.
But yeah.
There's a lot down there. Over.
All good. All right, nice.
Okay. With that, I will entertain a motion on action item number 8.
I'll move to approve the proposal for KP Elite Cleaning for cleaning services at Township Hall Building, Park Pavilion, restrooms, and park grounds with an initial one-time deep cleaning cost not to exceed $2,400 and a monthly cost not to exceed $42.50 from General Fund Building and Grounds Repair and Maintenance Fund number 101-265-934-060, effective for 1 year starting May 1st, 2025.
I have a motion.
Make a second?
I have a motion. I have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will ask all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose the same. Motion carried. Action item number 9 is a request for approval to renew the Memorandum of Understanding with Howell Parks and Recreation, HAPRA, for park maintenance services and support for $1,000 per month, plus hourly rates for additional work orders and reimbursement of supplies.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request for a renewal to continue the program that I think was a success with HAPRA this past year. HAPRA is already on our fields multiple times each week because they're responsible for maintaining the soccer fields. So they're out here to stripe and maintain the fields. And so to create some synergy with that, and also with the township's needs for additional park and rec type services on the property, we entered into an agreement with them last year. That involved them being on the property, doing the trash Monday through Friday, inspecting the grounds, blowing off the playgrounds, inspecting the play equipment to make sure that there wasn't any hazards or anything presented on the play equipment. Also keeping an eye just on the property that we own, because we do own 190 acres here behind the township hall, that sometimes can, have people do illegal dumping there. There can be issues there, so we're helping to keep an eye on that property. We also have, and I outlined this in my memo, a capability to put in a work order through them. So if we identify something or they identify something on the property that needs to be fixed or addressed, we have the ability to submit a work order, and there's an hourly charge that is left. A memorandum of understanding for them to address the issue using their personnel, their equipment, their vehicles. So I think it's worked out really well. And so we are seeking a renewal of that. The only change for the renewal is they are asking to be reimbursed for the cost of their supplies. They have committed to me that that would be no more than $700 for the year. And then we also, staff requested that we put some provisions in here to terminate it. If at any point during the year we decide we want to go a different direction or it's not working out, we would only have to give 30 days notice to discontinue.
Who approves the work orders?
So we submit the work orders to them. So usually it's either Adam, who's our facilities maintenance person, or myself.
So this is the same cost, $1,000. So that $700 was for the entire year,
That's
not
the-
a month.
The most, correct, that is the most that it could be to reimburse them for their supplies over the course of the year.
We are currently paying them $1,000 a month already.
Right.
It's just a renewal at no increased cost. They empty the trash.
Other than supplies.
Yeah, they empty all the trash cans Monday through Friday outside, and the dog. We don't do that on Saturday and Sunday.
So they inspect the playground equipment for defects, loose screws, sharp edges. Do they fix it?
They will, depending on what it is. So they're not, I should clarify that they're not certified playground inspectors. There are certain qualifications that you need to be considered a certified playground inspector, but they are putting eyes on the equipment and bringing it to our attention if there's an issue. I know we had one issue last year where there was some netting that was coming apart, and they took it down for us so that it was no longer there in a state of disrepair. So if it's something they're capable of fixing, they will, with some discretion. Obviously, that's playground equipment, and we would want to make sure that whoever was working on it was repaired properly, depending on what the feature is.
I know one of the big things last year, with them out there and eyes on this all the time, was the bee's nest that we were getting in the playground equipment. And now, I agree, this was a huge success. And the fact that they're out there all the time, they're seeing the stuff we don't see. So I think it's a great program.
Did they treat the bee's nest?
I believe they did.
They did. There was one particular ground nest that was extra persistent, and we had to hire a company to come out and get that one, because they just couldn't get Home Depot type application.
So this is Monday through Friday, just like the dog maintenance areas. So none of this $1,000 covers anything on the weekends.
That is why we had to add it to the cleaning company contract.
The dog maintenance areas, but like the
And-
path,
and-
the blow off, the mulch, all that, is the cleaning company picking up this other work?
They will just be emptying the garbage cans and the dog bags on the entire pathway.
And cleaning the inside bathrooms.
On the weekends too? Okay, okay.
I guess the only exception to that is if HAPRA schedules a big tournament, they'll take care of garbage for tournaments, but.
I'm actually working on they have a field lease with us for the fields, and I'm currently working on a renewal of that agreement, and that's one of the things that I'm including in it, is that if they're hosting an event here, they're responsible for.
Are we gonna talk about that in a meeting?
We will, yep.
The
Once
noise.
we get the lease agreement figured out, and I've sent them draft language, they're reviewing it. To the board.
But it says spraying for weeds, where?
I think that's around the playground equipment. around the Survivor Park, not necessarily around the path. And not integral to the playground equipment. We're very cognizant of the fact that where children are playing, right, we need to be careful with where we're.
With that, I will entertain a motion on action item number 9.
I would move to approve the memorandum of understanding with Hull Parks and Recreation for park maintenance services and support for $1,000 per month, plus hourly rates for additional work orders and reimbursement of supplies.
Not to exceed $700 a year.
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion. I have a second. Any further discussion?
The $700, do they invoice us for that, or how do they get paid, or do we just buy it for them? I'm just wondering how we keep track of that $700.
Yep, so they invoice us monthly for the $1,000. So I would anticipate there would be an extra line item on that invoice that
Trash
says,
bags and
we
spray
bought,
chemicals.
we
Okay.
bought a box of
Thank you.
trash bags, yep.
I can assure you that nothing is going to slide past our clerk.
Hey, my name's on all those checks, sorry.
No, I love it. Absolutely. Okay, so any further discussion?
No, we already have a motion and we already have a second.
We already had the motion and the second. We're just carrying on with the discussion. So, at this point, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Action item number 10 is the consideration of a request for adjustments to the land division application fees.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was prepared by our assessing department, and I actually provided on the table this evening. I apologize it wasn't included in your packet, but Trustee Reiber asked some good questions about this during the day today, so I did prepare just an analysis of what's proposed and what our existing fees are across all the other communities in Livingston County for sort of your most typical land division or combinations. And essentially, the impetus of this is that these fees, I don't think, have ever been adjusted from, I know for certain it hasn't happened in the last 25, 26 years. Robin's indicating maybe more like over 30 years.
Correct.
So the land division rates are very, very low. And I think many of our counterpart communities probably also have not adopted changes to their land division applications when I reviewed their history. So essentially in Genoa Township, all of the easy property is gone. Most of the property that was pretty flat and easy to develop has been subdivided out and people have built homes on it. The land division requests that we're getting are becoming increasingly more complex and taking a considerable amount of time to review them. On average, I'm likely spending over 10 hours on each application, reviewing them, making sure that they meet not only the Land Division Act requirements, but also the zoning ordinance requirements. The treasurer's office reviews them, the utility office signs off on them. Obviously then the assessing department has to complete the land division. It's a considerable amount of effort. And the amount that we're collecting is not even close to the amount of effort that is being spent on these applications. So the assessor did do this analysis. This would put us, not that most expensive in the county, but it would make us the second most expensive in the county for doing a land division or a combination. So that's something I think we can talk about if you don't want it to be at the level that we've proposed it at. But I certainly think the level that it's proposed at is indicative of the amount of effort that is going into it, and we certainly won't be making any money on these. We may just be slightly balancing better the amount of staff time and energy that is spent on these as compared to the amount of money.
And I think the key too was, in your statement, was that a lot of these other townships also have not adjusted their rates. So I would have to guess they're probably not far behind us.
Clearly Deerfield has.
Deerfield has.
That's way higher.
Yeah, so Deerfield actually, they don't, their staff doesn't, they send it to like their planning commission or their zoning board of appeals to do a review, which is why their costs are higher. Takes more time than, it's taking us by being able to do it in.
In-house, though, like you said, 4 departments go through this. You know, luckily for my department, it's not as an extensive of a review as Kelly's, but 4 departments do have to go over these.
Well, I'd imagine, like you said, all the easy ones have already been done. Now we're dealing with wetlands and all types of other issues that require a lot more review, so I can see that the time that's being spent with that.
Did, it's just for the board's awareness, Kelly did provide a breakdown from last fiscal year. And there were, and I'm gonna flip the numbers, there were 6 splits and 7 combining of lots. So there was 13 instances of this action being taken throughout the year. And we had collected a total of $600 for 13 actions. And if Kelly spends 10 hours per action, Robin spends so many hours, I can see where we're underwater.
Yeah.
On this type of thing. My fear was when I asked it, I thought this was gonna be like 500 residents are gonna be burdened by this extra fee, but it was 13 total transactions. And it's people.
Not all
They're
by-
making the decision to go ahead and divide so they can make an investment or something like that, so that sounded a lot more palatable to me for that one.
And the combinations are a lot easier, so therefore the lower rate is definitely appropriate. I was glad to see they recommended that.
Yes.
Okay, with that, I would entertain a motion on action item number 10.
Okay, I'll move approval of the request for adjustments to the land division application fees as requested by the Township Assessing Office.
Second that.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I would ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
When would this take effect?
I would expect every application that I have in the office currently that's under review will not be
Impacted by that?
impacted by this, but any new applications, so starting tomorrow, a new application for a land division,
Good.
I would apply the new fee.
Okay.
We may contact, there's a few that have not made application yet, but we've been in communication with. We might reach out to them and let them know that it's changing and give them an opportunity to submit under the current fee.
Okay, at this time, I'll open it up for any board comment. No board
Thanks,
comment.
Janine, and thanks, Mr. Supervisor, for doing the legwork on the alternates for cleaning. That was something early on that we knew had to be
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
for the citizens.
Did the floor get redone?
We did. You should go look at it. There's
Turned out great.
epoxy flooring in the outside bathroom. The outside bathroom flooring was really, it was cement. And if you could it did not look great. So it looks better now.
Looks much, much cleaner. It's a better presentation. We are gonna look to do the walls with something maybe a little more durable than what's currently on them as well. Just so it's a lot easier to clean and keep it looking
I think we need
tip-top.
to hire a painter or something.
Yep.
to,
Yeah,
that's
we-
one of our next steps, isn't it?
That's our next thing, is our maintenance guy / painter, so. I hesitate to say that probably more people see those bathrooms than the inside of this facility here. So that, we're putting our best foot forward up there, so that's great to see young families utilizing, that resource, so.
Everybody at the table knows what Public Act 233 is. Does anybody have any questions as to what Public Act 233 might be? And What it did is it kind of, it took away it was signed into law, I believe 2 years ago. And it took away the rights of local municipalities to have a say in where, solar, wind, battery storage areas put in the hands of a 3-person unelected board in, called the MPSC. And there is a meeting, I know it's short notice, I found it on Facebook. I don't know why our local, well, I know why our local House representative didn't let us know, because it's Public Act 233 probably. But anyway, the Energy Committee is having a hearing on House Bills 4027 and 4028 tomorrow at 9 a.m. In the House Anderson, in the Anderson House Office Building in Lansing. And these bills would restore power to local governments, ensuring that the renewable energy projects are planned with the input of local municipalities and not forced upon us by a state agency. So again, the hearing is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It's open to the public in Lansing. Sir.
We can't. Sort of.
That is not correct.
So you're, as long as we put together a CREO, which was kind of their guidelines, irregardless of what we had set for setbacks, materials, and that sort of thing, they kind of told you what your ordinance needed to be. And we did enact one of those for Genoa, and many others did. If you didn't enact one of those, then it bypasses you and goes straight to the MPSC. In our case, if we make a decision based on our CREO and they don't like it, they can appeal to the MPSC, and the MPSC will be the final word.
But we still have the first.
Only,
Vision.
yeah, only if you have a Creo.
Ted?
That's why we have state government and federal government. So it is a government and the federal government all kind of doing a little thing. Hopefully they're listening to the same music.
Sounds like you should attend the hearing tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Our board is very much in favor of local control. We have chosen to take the solar argument out of it. I mean, because next comes gravel pits, and it just, the more power Lansing takes away from local governments, the more upset we are.
And we can control where they go, too.
No one is arguing that we should not have local control. We just have to take into consideration the federal government, all three have to kind of exist in harmony. That's all I'm saying. And lately, there's been an attitude, we don't need the federal government, we don't need the state government, we can. Being naive at my age, but I think that, I thought.
I would appreciate a greater collaboration rather than someone saying, here's what it's gonna be. So that's what PA 233 did.
And we always.
Agreed. So, anyway, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Anderson House Office Building in Lansing. That's all I
Excellent.
got.
Thank you, Trustee Walker. Anybody else? So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
At what time?
Yeah,
You got
so
3
as
seconds,
of,
so-
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion, meeting adjourned at 7:25 PM.